Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 13 of my Billions and Billions challenge. In today's episode, I'm going to be working on some autocrafting stuff with my ME system here, so let's get started. The first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to upgrade my reactor right here, and I'm going to do that by adding some resonant ender buckets to my reactor. As we can see right now, my reactor is producing 924 RF per tick. It does have some natural variance in it. Usually it's right around 930 RF per tick. But let's go ahead and shut this thing down, and let's go ahead and add our buckets of resonant ender. And I didn't actually mean to do that. I meant to use the 3x3 mode. So let me make sure to pick up all of the items here before I move on, because I will need to put them back where they were. And I also need to dig out this one and this one as well. So let's get our buckets here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do 4 at a time. Where I need to put them is right beside the fuel rods. So here, here, and here. And then let's go ahead and do that and this, and once again these right here. So this should power up my reactor a decent amount. I'm not sure exactly how much. I should have checked my control rods before I broke it apart. I think they were at 15%. And I need this back. Okay, there's a good chance I dropped that. The resonant ender buckets, if you drop something into it, it will actually teleport it. And okay, in the past it would teleport items around, but apparently not so much anymore. But if I just go ahead and put this back, I'm going to put these back at 85% because I'm pretty sure that's where I had it before. Unfortunately, I didn't actually check that. And let's turn this on. I do note that the core heat and the casing heat were vastly different. So now they're just about the same, which is good. And I am producing more power. And my fuel reactivity, it was around 300% before. It might have been 290 or so. But now it's at 346%. And the higher number is better. And that is fantastic. So we're getting a little bit more power out of the same amount of fuel. So that's nice. So let's go ahead and clear out that for right now. Let's go ahead and get rid of the extra buckets here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my automation that I already built in this building in the basement that provides me with stone, obsidian, and other stuff, so on and so forth. And I'm going to replace the modular storage units that I have here with black hole units. Now, black hole units are fantastic because they can store up to over 2 billion of one type of item. So, for example, if I had iron ingots in a black hole unit, it could store over 2 billion of them. The only drawback is that they can only store one type of item at a time, but that's not really a concern as all of these modular storage units are currently only storing one type of item at a time. So let's go ahead and replace those. And let's see. First of all, I want to make sure that actually the modular storage units I have already have some items in them, and I should probably check the buses to make sure they're configured as well. So let's shoot, I think that had sand in it, and now I can't remember. Yes, it did have sand, so let's go ahead and set this up so that it only holds sand, and then throw some sand in there. And let's continue here. Let's see, I have stone in here. It is configured. That's good. Got a few more, I think. So obsidian, that's cool. That is configured as well. And there should be 2 more here. Gravel, this is configured. And let's check that this one is configured as well. So let's, I'm not sure how easily I'm going to be able to grab these. Oh, cool, I got it. If I had like a magnet, it would be a lot better, obviously. What I'm going to do right now is just dig under here and get this, because I really want to get this modular storage unit. I got it, looks like anyways. So let's go ahead and place down this black hole unit here, and then this last one right here. So I think what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to cut away so I can fix this, and once I have this fixed, I will be right back. So I now have that hole in the floor fixed. The next thing I want to do is I want to actually get some of these items into my ME system, and that's pretty easy because I have that importer there. So what I can do is I can get that going. while I work on the rest of my build here. So let me see here. Are these empty? These are not empty. Okay, so I can worry about those later. So right now, oh shoot, these are for my build. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a system that can automatically produce Grains of Infinity from the mod extra utilities 2. And I have an area already ready for that. So let's just duck down. To make Grains of Infinity, you have to light bedrock on fire. And let's go ahead and start setting things up. The first thing, the main thing about this build is going to be the mechanical user, and that is going to actually produce or use flint and steel to produce flames, and then hopefully the flames provide me with some Grains of Infinity. So let's go ahead and set this here. This needs to not be configured. On top of it, I'm going to put an import bus. And then I'm going to obviously connect it to my ME system just a little bit later. But for right now, I need to get this functional. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set up a timer. And I want to set this to about 1 minute. So there are 20 ticks in a second. So 20 times 60 is 1200. So 1200 ticks. Actually, for right now, I'm going to set it I'm going to set it to pulse once every second because I need to figure out, or I need to refigure out how to get this to fire correctly. So I need it to be redstone on, so it's activated by the redstone here. And then I think I need it to use item and block. That is correct. So let's go ahead and change the timer here to 1200, like I stated before. And sometimes the fire will produce Grains of Infinity, sometimes it will not. If you hear a popping sound when the fire goes out, then it did produce Grains of Infinity. If it does not produce a popping sound, it did not produce it. So I didn't get any Grains of Infinity there. But what I can do is I can go ahead and build this up, and we can check my ME system to make sure that there are no Grains of Infinity in this system. And then at the end of the episode, I can check it again because there should be a few anyways. So I'm just going to run this up to my ME controller. Actually, I'm not going to run it all the way up to my ME controller. And there's a reason for that, because I will be working on an automation in this room right here. So I'm just going to run this cable to be right there. And later on, I will connect it up to the ME system. But for right now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to produce a system that can autocraft things on demand. So I'm going to go ahead and take a nap. And then I'm going to grab the items for that. It's actually relatively simple. Let's go ahead and get this started on importing. And I forgot the last part of that build. That's on me. So let's go ahead and remove this. Make sure that's obsidian because... Okay, so that's flint. That's empty. This is iron. I actually need to set that up. I don't know why I screwed that up, or forgot about that. But completely forgot about the sequential fabricator and the battery here. So let me go ahead and finish that build because I didn't actually finish it up. And let's grab 8 cobblestone. And that should be good. And let's actually grab the stuff from my next build as well. So all this stuff right here is for the next build, and that's so that I can autocraft things on demand. So let's duck back down here and actually finish out this build. So what I want to do now is I need to, and we don't have any Grains of Infinity yet, so that's just kind of bad luck. I need to get some more flint and steel in here. So what I want to do now is I want to fill the rest of the slots with cobblestone, and I want to choose the upper left slot only, so that the mechanical user will only try to use this slot right here. The next thing I'm going to do is dig a little hole back here to put an energy cell. And there we go, energy cell. It needs to be output to the front, and the other sides are not important. I'm going to use a sequential fabricator here, and I'm actually going to have to rotate this around. So there we go. And so the right side here should be output because the face is over here. So I need to configure the right side as an output and the back and the side as inputs, and they need to be auto input. Oh, it's unavailable. So I'm going to need to grab some item duct or something. but I can do that in just a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one of them over here. The other one can be right here, I think. I don't think this is flammable. Okay, I got grains of infinity. Cool. So there we go. There's my first grains of infinity produced by this. I'm going to need to grab some item duct here, but let's go ahead and manually grab a stack of flint and a stack of iron. So what this is going to do is I'm going to have it actually make flint and steel. So I'm going to go ahead and set the recipe, and because it has nowhere to output right now, because the inventory is full, it will just hold it, but next time it needs to make something, it will be able to. So I need to go ahead and get some item duct, and I can do that really, really fast here. If I had access to my ME system wirelessly, I could do that a little bit quicker, but that's not really a problem right now. I will probably get around to that pretty soon though. So let's get some servos and some item duct, and now we can go ahead and finish this automation for real. Item duct, and I'm using impulse item duct. I did not need to do that. I could have just used regular item duct, and that would have been fine. Okay, so that should fill up. There we go. It is starting to fill up. Still only 1 grains of infinity. But having a lot of grains of infinity around will be super useful in the future. Okay, so let's worry about the actual automation on-demand system that I'm going to be setting up for my ME system here. So let's find the middle here, and this is the middle of the controller widthways, if you count this as the width. And let's place down some things here. Let's 1, 2, okay, yeah, let's put it on the back wall here. And okay, I don't know if I want to push out that wall one more or not. I don't think I'm going to do that at this point. And let's go ahead and mirror this setup over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a structure here. And the most basic way to build the structure is actually just to have one ME interface beside one molecular assembler. But I can actually do better than that. How I'm going to do this is I'm going to have 4 molecular assemblers, or 4 ME interfaces rather, around 5 molecular assemblers. The ME interfaces can interact with any of the molecular assemblers that they're touching. So for example, this ME interface can react with this molecular assembler, and this molecular assembler. What the molecular assemblers do is they act as crafting tables for your ME system. And so basically you see a crafting grid right here, and they are able to produce things in this grid. And once they are crafted, they kick back to the ME system automatically. So let's go ahead and finish out my structures here. And they are going to be built the same here. Okay, got 3 more here. Actually, I think it would be faster if I do it this way. And let's finish this out. Okay, so that gives me a decent amount of capacity here. So what I'm going to do next is I actually need to hook this all up to my ME system up here. And let's go ahead and do that by dropping down a cable right here. And then I actually can use regular conduit here for the rest of it. Like I've said before, the regular conduit can hold 8 channels at a time. The only thing that take channels in these structures are the ME interfaces themselves. The molecular assemblers do not need dedicated channels. So, for example, this line right here, or this cable right here, has all 8 channels going through it because there are 4 channels going here, and then 4 channels going here. And let's do the same thing over here. I actually don't have a smart cable with another smart cable with me, but I think that's gonna be just fine. I can easily see how many channels I'm using. Let's go ahead and connect this up, and then these up. There we go. So I can't use them just yet because I actually need crafting storage. And these are kind of the processors that allow me to craft things. So let's go ahead and connect up some crafting processors here. And I will probably move some of these in the future, but let's go ahead and just set them up to be right on the corners here. And these structures are multi-block, but they don't have to be multi-block. The Each of the crafting structures needs at least one crafting storage. I've chosen 16K crafting storages, and then 2 of the 1K as well. The 1K crafting storages will be for smaller tasks, like say I want a few torches crafted or something, and that can go ahead and craft those pretty easily. But for bigger, larger crafts that require lots of items being crafted, I'm going to use the 16K storage, or crafting storage rather. And what the coprocessors do here is it allows the block or the crafting system to actually do multiple things at once. So for example, if I tell it to make torches, first my system would need to make sticks, and then it would need to make the actual torches itself with the sticks and the coal or charcoal or whatever I choose. And what this allows is it could make sticks. It could be making sticks at the same time that it's making torches. So say I request 64 torches. It could go ahead and make the first 4 sticks, and then it could also it could be crafting both sticks and torches at the same time, going after it gets its initial supply of sticks to make the torches. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I didn't explain that super well, but that's okay. So I'm just going to put the 1K crafting right there. I think that'll be fine. And let's go ahead and connect this system up down here with one of these. And actually, I'm not going to have to change anything, in fact. I don't know why I thought I would. So let's go ahead and set this to single block. And I'm just going to run this in the bottom here. Actually, let's run it over here, just so I can see that I have more channels connected. As you can see right now, I have 13 of 32 channels, and that is exactly as I expected. Let's just go ahead and connect this up like so, and it should say 14 here in a second. And while I'm waiting on that, let's grab some stone so that I can clean that up, and then we can go ahead and start the actual auto crafting here. So let's grab some stone. And we can get rid of the rest of this stuff. I think I don't need it anymore. Oh, I forgot I was going to do something. Oh, well. I was going to store the Grains of Infinity in a black hole unit. I can do that at a later time. I have the stone that I need. So let's go down one more. Okay, this says 14 now. So that is connected. That's fantastic. So let's go ahead and clean this up. There we go. And let's place this torch back. And let's go back up here and start autocrafting things. So to actually autocraft things, I need to tell the system how to do it. So I have this interface terminal right here, and it can directly allow me to drop things into any of the IMI interfaces that I have spread around my system here. And as we can see, I have 24 different IMI interfaces, and they are all connected to molecular assemblers. The cool thing about the interface terminal here is it will tell you what machines or what blocks are next to your IMI interfaces. So it tells me that all my IMI interfaces are next to molecular assemblers, which is correct. So what I want to do now is let's tell the system how to make something. And for example, let's do torches, just like I was saying before. So it requires sticks and charcoal. I'm going to do charcoal rather than coal because I do have a way to get... actually, you know what? Let's just do coal. I am getting coal. I don't have very much coal right now because I haven't pulverized my coal ore, but that's fine. So what you need to do is you need to set up the pattern in here and then hit this right here. You need blank patterns to do that. And I've crafted up a bunch of blank patterns between episodes. So I also need to do sticks because I don't have an infinite amount of sticks. So for example, if I were to drop this in a molecular assembler right now and tell it to make torches, it would be like, I don't have sticks. So I need to be able to make sticks as well. So let's get some wood. And the recipe I'm actually going to use is, I'm just going to use this recipe right here rather than the more traditional recipe like this. And that's just to save time. And so if I drop this in here, it should be able to make torches now. So let's see if it can. Cool. And there we go. And if you want to, you can even watch it in action if you hit this button right here. So there we go. The torches are made. I have 100 torches right here. So anytime I need something made in the future, I will probably make a pattern for it so that in the future, if I need to craft that same item again, I will be able to autocraft it, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. So I think that's a good wrapping up point. In today's episode, I upgraded my reactor in the basement of this building. Sorry. I thought it was in the other building. I added some resonant ender here, and it now is producing more power, and it's not running nearly as hot. I also replaced some modular storage units over in my other building over there with black hole units because they can hold practically infinity of a single type of resource, and that's exactly how I was using these modular storage units, so it's good that I did that. And then not last thing, but the next thing I did was I set up a system to make grains of infinity, and I currently only have 3, but in the future that will grow over time. Obviously the system will always be running as long as it has flint and steel in it, so that is fantastic as well. And then I set up an autocrafting area down here, and this will be very, very nice to have because it allows me to make large crafts, large amounts of things very easily. I just need to tell the system how to do it, provide the resources, and then the system can do it. So that is fantastic. So if you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to drop a like down below. And if you enjoy watching automation type stuff in modern Minecraft, especially large scale stuff, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, because that's typically what I do. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.